Greetings everyone, this is A Shot of Whiskey. This long overdue video is a response to 2 recommendations made in my UseTube's comments section from my previous video. While both topics deserve their separate videos, I'm combining them into one. This is mainly due to time. It's taken nearly a month for me to get this video finished, and I apologize for the delay.
Okay, promise you won't get mad?
No.
The first topic, which is one that y'all are more likely to be familiar with, is the T-app drama. For those who may not know, which I'd be surprised about, this app is named after a slang term used by females on the internet as another way of saying gossip, as opposed to the term coffee, which in this case refers to taken in reality, similar to taking the red pill.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
He should not be marrying this woman.
So basically, this app is for women to complain about men, to slander men, and perhaps most important, to dox men over any reason that these females deem fit. And yes, they have usually been cases of men who broke their poor little hearts by telling them no or ending their relationship, or by having the audacity of acknowledging their presence in public, or by simply being men.
Men.
The only reason anyone outside of the app's users know about this is because someone hacked the app and posted a bunch of names and images proving who these animals are on 4chan, which honestly I thought that site was shut down, but I guess I was wrong. Either way, we all know that the only reason this was ever a news story is because the scary incels have targeted poor innocent womans, and weak beta male simps online are trying to defend them.
Here I come, bad guys, and boobs, and not necessarily in that order.
Believe it or don't, I'm fine.
Pictures and other forms of identification have been leaked as a result of this, and as we may have expected, they all look terrible. Here is an image I found on Facebook with some of these creatures. As you can see, they all look old, fat, drugged, or masculine. I will say, though, that these two kind of look like they may have been somewhat attractive when they were young women. But that doesn't matter in the here and now.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I find it somewhat hilarious how many white knights there are trying to defend these vile creatures, attacking men for not allowing women to have their own spaces and such, while completely dismissing that what they were doing was immoral and illegal. If there were a men's coffee app that did this exact same thing, it would have been taken down. Oh wait, there were several. From what I have seen, there have been at least 3 male-centric versions of this app, and the one to last the longest made it to a whopping 3 days.
1, 2, 3 days.
Oh, it's gonna be sick!
Now, in fairness to our gynocentric society, I can't believe I just said that, one of those apps did allow men to post nudes of their exes.
That's creepy.
So that one did deserve it. But to my knowledge, the others were no different than the original T, except one of them did a little bit more to protect anonymity. That said, the hacking of T, to my understanding, wasn't even really a hack. It sounds to me like someone just spotted an open folder and copied the data. That's not hacking. Either way, these females got part of what they deserved, and I would not shed a tear if reports came out about some of them being fired and or arrested. The other subject that was recommended was the trial of Canada's World Junior Hockey Team.
Canada sucks.
For those of you who don't know what I'm referring to, here's the short version. Several years ago, a lying trollop claimed to have been raped by 5 hockey players. It's basically another version of the Duke lacrosse scandal, but in Canada. Well, despite Canada being a leftist hellhole run by male feminists, the 5 players have all been acquitted.
Everyone around the world, come on! Celebrate good times, come on! It's a celebration.
I have 2 different articles, and no, I'm not going to read them both. I will be sharing bits here and there, but if y'all want to read them in their entirety, I have included links in the description below. The one you're seeing now is from the Canadian Press, and the other from CBS. You can see here that the date this was published was about a month ago, as was the CBS article, which was when these young men were acquitted. Unfortunately, these are the most up-to-date articles on this case that I could find, and now that I've said that, an update is probably going to come out on the very day I publish this video.
Of course!
This right here is from the CBS article, kind of in the middle part, maybe a little bit before that. The woman testified in May that she was naked, drunk, and scared when 4 of the men showed up unexpectedly in her room at the Delta Hotel London Armories and felt the only safe option was to do what they wanted. Prosecutors argued the players did what they wanted without taking steps to ensure she was voluntarily consenting to sexual acts. Notice how it said 4 of the men. Well, the article did not mention that she was in her room because she had willingly brought up the 5th guy, meaning even if her nonsensical testimony was accurate, this means that she made it perfectly clear that she planned on doing the horizontal mambo.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
In various parts of the Canadian article, it states that some of the other hockey players who were there claimed that the liar was soliciting this particular adult activity to anyone who was stupid enough to think with their little heads. That said, here's something from the CBS article. Defense attorneys cross-examined her for days and suggested she actively participated in or initiated sexual activity because she wanted a wild night. 2 short videos of the complainant taken by McLeod, I think that's how you say the name, which, by the way, that's one of the 5 players, the night of the encounter were played in court. In one, the woman says it was all consensual, though she told the court that wasn't how she truly felt. I don't know if she has the brain capacity to realize this, but that final line alone proves that she is a liar. Either she lied to the horny hockey lads, or she lied to the court just then.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire. Ooh.
Now here's something that should be echoed around the world, especially in the legal realm. Ontario Superior Court Justice Maria Carosia found that while much has been made in this case about the concept of consent, it does not raise issues of the reformulation of the legal concept of consent. In this case, I have found actual consent not vitiated by fear, she said, adding she did not find the complainant's testimony credible or reliable.
I don't believe it.
Excellent decision aside, I'm not sure if vitiate would have been the word I would have used. I mean, I get why she did, but I personally would not have. I probably would have gone with withdraw or transpose. Maybe not transpose. Let's continue on with the article. She pointed to what she said were multiple inconsistencies in the complainant's testimony, and how some of her statements differed from what she'd said to police and in a civil claim against Hockey Canada that was settled before the players were criminally charged. Carosia said the complainant tended to blame others for inconsistencies in her story and made references to her truth, which seemingly blurred the lines between what she believes to be true and what is actually true.
And I invite myself to speak my truth.
The complainant was very disappointed with the ruling. Her lawyer, Karen Bellahumir, told reporters outside of court. She's really never experienced not being believed like this before, she said.
Welcome to manhood.
And that right there is a privilege that typically goes in women's favor. Being believed by your word alone. And she just got a small taste of what it is like to not be believed. Granted, that's because she was proven to be a liar. But I'm willing to bet that from her perspective, whether or not she was telling the truth is irrelevant. Not being believed is a new experience for her. Therefore, in her warped little feminazi mind, that is the real problem.
Sit down, Miss.
It's not that she just fucked over professional careers of 5 men who were skilled enough to play at the pro level. No. It's that she was proven to be lying. As for what she took away from them, both articles touched on this. First off, with the CBS article, the players' identities were made public when they were charged in early 2024. At the time, 4 of them played in the National Hockey League. Dube for the Calgary Flames, Hart for the Philadelphia Flyers, and McLeod and Foote for the New Jersey Devils. Formanton had previously played for the Ottawa Senators before joining a Swiss team. All went on indefinite leave, and none is on an NHL roster or has an active contract with a team in the league.
She took everything!
Now, that was in the past, but here is something from the Canadian article regarding the future. Soon after the decision, the NHL said the acquitted players remain ineligible to play in the league while it reviews the findings, a declaration then denounced by the NHL's Player Association. Hockey Canada, meanwhile, said the players are still suspended from all programming sanctioned by the organization. So even after being acquitted, basically found not guilty pretty much, they're still acting as if though these guys are hardcore bad touchy people and should never be allowed to play the sport they love ever again. It's freaking ridiculous. All of this because of a woman's inconsistent story.
Something is wrong here.
The final thing I want to show you comes from the Canadian article. Prosecutor Megan Cunningham thanked the complainants for coming forward, adding that her team will quote-unquote carefully review the judge's decision while it's still within the 30-day appeal period.
I read somewhere that their periods attract bears. The bears can smell the menstruation.
We should not joke about women. Period.
If I had to guess, my video most likely won't be coming out until after the appeal date. If I am correct, or if I'm not, I hope y'all will be interested in this topic enough to look up the information on your own. If justice actually exists in Canada, an appeal will not be brought forth on account of her legal team telling her to shove a puck up her penalty box. Worst case scenario, they have filed for an appeal, and that judge, whoever it will rule against these young men and against the truth.
Because you can't handle the truth!
This is another horrible account of female-on-male abuse that justifies why I and many men have gone MGTOW. Now that I have published this video on my 5 accounts, I'm going to get to work on some of the video ideas that I've put on hold. And to the fellas that made these recommendations, thank you. And I apologize for this coming out as late as it has.
Don't ever do that again.
Gentlemen, never forget that if you abuse alcohol, it will abuse you back.
But wait! There's more!
Sorry guys, but I found a somewhat recent video from the channel Average Man Unplugged about an update regarding the T-App drama. And yes, I'll provide a link for that video as well. The first part of the video focuses on another issue with the app, and it needs to be talked about.
And it's a big bowl of Zarellian jelly worms for the big boy.
Awesome.
Enjoy!